Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we're going to be doing a little day 2 recap or slash the kind of qualifying review mainly. Sorry for releasing this a little late. It's kind of late in the day and I didn't get a chance to what's qualifying until later in the day. So I'm going to be posting this in the morning the following day. It's about 11 o'clock right now. So yeah. So first up, let's talk about Felix Rosenqvist. He takes pole for the second year running. Watch, just awesome for Felix. I mean, he got really lucky because he managed to run really early when the track temperature was a little lower, and then a few other people tried to take it from him. You know, Scott, Rossi, Pato Award. Like Pato, I do believe Pato had the speed, like on the back straight, to be able to get his teammate Felix, but the track temperature was just a bit higher at that point, so it was he kind of just got screwed by lack of grip, or not lack of grip. He just kind of lost a little grip, what kind of, just caused a little bit of scrubbing, and it kind of just screwed him over. So that's kind of sucky for Pato. But Scott did a good job. Like I said he was going to do. He got second. I predicted he was possibly going to get pole position. Rossi again, he got third. Considering he's in a brand new team, that's actually pretty good. And 2-hour McLaren's on the front 2 rows. That's pretty awesome. Kind of a disappointing result for Team Penske. I mean, in comparison, they did get a pretty good result. Powell was up there, Newgarden was 4th, Powell was 8th, and Scott was 15th. Well, overall, it's not a terrible position. I think the only biggest disappointment was Scott being 15th. Kind of sucks for him. Joseph is right there, so that's a pretty good result. He's going to be right up there. Will Power's in 8th, which Will Power's going to be able to get up there. So if they didn't do an awful job, I would have liked to see Will Power get, maybe up there on the front row, but he got caught out. But they'll be okay. They'll be able to. Still, I think Will's going to be in contention for the win this race. Now I want to talk about some of the underdogs in this race. So going into this race, I think I don't know if we can really call this guy an underdog, Takuma Sato. He's in a sense he's an underdog, but he's with a good team. He's really good on ovals. Of course, even though he doesn't have a full-time drive, he was always going to be a threat coming into this oval race. Texas, he's always really good. Texas, he's really good at the 500. Pretty much any ovals he's pretty good at. So yeah, I definitely think, there's no reason why he can't win this race. He's in a good team. He's in a good car. The only reason he would lose it is just lack of driving experience, because he hasn't really been driving this year. But I assume for him, it's kind of just like riding a bike, so he should be good to go. Well, as long as he doesn't crash. And if by good to go, I mean, if he doesn't win, he's going to crash out, because, Takuma is just like kind of, all or nothing. He's either going to take you over, or he's going to take you both out. You could go find a 10-minute replay of him wrecking people. And that's no hate towards him. I love Takuma Sato. He's an awesome driver. He has an awesome personality too. I just love the guy, but he's pretty vicious, to say the least. But he's cool. So now let me get into some of the rookies. So Benjamin Peterson actually did a really good job. I was really surprised at his performance. He actually ran pretty early in the day. He got P13, and I think originally it was like closer to the top 10. But then obviously people ran. I expected when he first ran, I was like, oh, he's like, P9 or whatever he ran when he ran, and I expected him to get knocked out, but he just stayed within the top 10 and then ended up P13, which that was pretty impressive. Compared to, he's never raced at that track, because Indy Lights doesn't race there, and the speeds, even if Indy Lights did race there, because they raced at some ovals, the speed difference of the Indy cars versus Indy Lights is just insane. Going 220, that's like ludicrous speeds. I don't know, it's crazy. He did so good. Before we move on to the next section, I just want to say we just hit 300 subscribers in the channel. Thanks for all the support recently. I just started posting videos not too long ago, about a month ago, and in the last month I've gained like over 150 subscribers, and it's been pretty awesome. Thanks for all the support, guys. And lastly, before we move on to the next section, I want to talk about some weird stuff that happened. So if anyone was watching the live feed, there was some weird jokes going on. So I believe Joseph Newgarden, Scott McLaughlin, and Colton Herder all made some weird jokes.
For the IndyCars become a track position race. So does that make this session a little more important this afternoon?
Listen, Marco, who's licked the red off your candy, but I'm excited to be here. This is a great track. It's very, very important. driving an IndyCar around here, it's like trying to put socks on a rooster. It's just tricky, very, very, very tricky. But I'm not here to lollygag. I'm going to take no prisoners here with these rascals, and I think the PPG car is really solid. I feel good about what we can do. We just got to put it all together.
On top of the charts this morning, we're seeing laps in the teens right now. You were above 223 earlier. Is there that in the car for qualifying?
Oh, I think for the conditions right now, Devlin at the top there is probably faster than a sneeze through a screen door. So, yeah, he's going really well. But we'll see what we've got in the XPEL Chevy. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. I don't know really what else we could have done. We're fairly trimmed at this point. The conditions are nice. Last year it was hot. It was so hot that the hens were playing hard-boiled eggs. But I'm kind of bumfuzzled on what we didn't do good enough there because it just felt stuck. The car felt.
Tell me in the comments if there was any more weird jokes said from anyone else, but they were really entertaining. I think that was pretty funny. I do think the funniest joke was definitely Colton Herder's joke. He said something on the lines of chickens laying hard-boiled eggs, or was just kind of it wasn't even the joke. What was funny was the fact that it was obvious that he was finding it funny, and he was like saying the joke, but then also he was almost laughing at the joke as he was saying it. It was hilarious. I definitely think that was my pick for the funniest joke. Tell me in the comments who you think had the funniest joke during that broadcast. So next I just want to move on some general topics what happened today. So I'm going to talk about the practice sessions first. So the first practice session, nothing really major happened. It was a pretty normal practice session. I do want to point out real quick though that Callum Ilott had a really good weekend. He finished pretty consistently within the top 10 of both practice sessions. Well, that's pretty impressive to see. I don't see anyone else notable what was really consistent. The only other guy who was really consistent was Takuma Sato. He also finished within the top 10 at both sessions. And there was obviously a few others, the major ones that are normally always in the top, like Joseph and, Scott. They're always right up there. But I think that the notable people aren't normally at the top of every single practice session. So it's good to see some new faces going well. I didn't see any clear patterns of domination from one specific team. I know last year during the race there was some quite significant domination from Team Penske and Chip Ganassi, which generally them two are the biggest contenders at Texas. But so I do expect to see them teams fighting for the win this race. But I'm hoping and praying for Takuma Sato to take the win because I just want to see that guy win. I mean, I don't know. I just love that guy. Another notable thing is Colin Daly, which he also has a special place in my heart because one of the only kind of notable tragedies, not necessarily tragedies, that's the wrong wording, but Conor Daly did have a very vigorous spin, which he did save it. What was actually, I'm going to actually show a replay of the save. What was actually really impressive, the fact that he saved it. And I even watched an interview and he was basically talking about, if some of you are unaware, last weekend he was actually at Texas in Austin at the Circuit of Americas during a NASCAR race, and he actually said that the kind of chaos of the spinning and the NASCAR race actually helped him prepare for the spin. So that's kind of interesting to hear that NASCAR and IndyCar, how much it transfers, because the sports are very different. One's a 10-ton stock car, and then one is a lightweight Indy car that has a lot more power and it's a lot faster around the oval, so that's kind of interesting to hear. The only other notable retirement from that session was Elio Castroneves. It was kind of a weird one. He had a wheel bearing failure, and according to an interview, that was due to a qualifying incident. I guess something happened with qualifying. He pushed too hard and he damaged a wheel bearing, and that kind of put him out. Well, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but is what it is. I don't know all the logistics. And then the last notable thing about the practice sessions was Scott Dixon topped the last practice session, topping an average lap time of 222. So 222 miles an hour was pretty good. So he's going to be obviously strong, like I've said before. And then the only notable really story I kind of seen from today, I did some research, but I couldn't really see any notable storylines for today. One I probably missed from yesterday was Colton Herder actually switched strategists. And if you know anything about Colton Herder, his dad, Brian, actually is his strategist, which he switched strategists with Kyle Kirkwood. So it's kind of interesting to know the dynamic. And according to Herder, that was a decision made by Andretti. And in the interview, he wasn't very impressed by the decision, which I don't know if there was some sort of, maybe they just wanted to mix things up because, you know, of the father-son relationship. I personally thought it was a pretty good relationship. They've won a lot of races together, so I don't see why you would mix something up that's working. According to some sources, but obviously nothing's really confirmed, it was maybe due to last weekend, but I don't understand. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but we'll see how that plays out, and that's gonna apparently stay until the end of the year, so maybe they'll swap them back at the end of the year. Maybe part of the decision was Andretti just decided, like, Brian is a better strategist, and it's kind of, maybe it would benefit Kyle Kirkwood to have a strong strategist on his side, but we'll see how it pans out. So yeah, that's going to be about it for this video. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and tell me who you think is going to win the race. I think I'm going to make my bold prediction and say Takuma Sato is going to win. I don't know if that's necessarily going to come true, but you know, he's definitely going to be up there. He's going to be strong. So yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.